If you want all the latest news of NBA 2K and also NBA in general, you should follow me on my Twitter account at PackHoopsYT. Not only that, I do giveaways all the time when it comes to VC, games, and also even consoles. So check it out, follow me, and see you there. Snubs, the All-Star votes already came out, and the results have already come out. We know who's going to be an All-Star this season. But there's 10 players, at least according to 2K, that have been straight up snubbed from these selections. I mean, there's a couple that I agree with pretty hard. There's others that I understand why not. But I'm going to go one by one. Basically, it's the worst player that was selected as an All-Star this season from both West and East. If there's other players that have higher ratings than them, they should have been All-Stars according to 2K. Que pasa to the pack? It is Pack here,
AKA your mama's best friend.
Before this video starts, be an OG, join the pack and subscribe, and follow me on Twitch. We do these videos on Twitch as well, and it'd be cool if you could join up. So I'm starting off with an honorable mention because there's a pretty clear reason why this person wasn't selected. At number, I guess, 11 is Jimmy Butler. He's been injured for like half the season. They were also losing a lot, at least when he wasn't playing and when he was playing for a little bit. So you can't make him an All-Star when they're not winning and when he's not playing. It's just, you can't. But 92 overall, on paper, he's supposed to be an All-Star. Just saying. Okay, so at number 10 on this list, we have Jrue Holiday. So even though Jrue Holiday has missed a couple games, when he has played, he's played very, very well. He has been the point guard that the Bucks need. 86 overall. On paper, he should have been in the conversation as an All-Star. You could even argue that he was snubbed. There's another player on this team that we obviously have to talk about later, but on paper, he was supposed to be chosen. This is one of the best teams in the West. It's not like you can't have 3 All-Stars on one team, like how literally the Nets have it, so it's not impossible. But I do think that's why I have him at number 9, that like, or sorry, at number 10. I get that it's like not realistic for him to make it, so that's why he's all the way down here. At number 9 on this list, we have Russell Westbrook. If you would ask me a week ago if Russell Westbrook should be an All-Star, I would have rolled my eyes and said you were crazy. I mean, even though he's an 86 overall, the Wizards have been cheeks until now. For the past 5 games, they've won 5 games in a row. They're starting to win some games. Will they make the playoffs? It'll be tough because a lot of the teams that are already in the playoff positions and playing games are winning. So it's going to be tough for them to get back into that position, but they're doing better. And it's not just because Bradley Beal's playing well, but so is Russell Westbrook. He's been stepping it up and consistently having really good nights and shooting at good percentages lately. So you could make the argument if Bradley Beal was a starter, then your backup could be in it. But again, they are losing pretty hard, at least record-wise. So that's probably why he wasn't an All-Star this season. At number 8 on this list, it is Fred VanVleet. You're going to notice a trend here. Team was also losing pretty hard until now when they're winning a lot. And the player that has been a bucket this season for them is Fred VanVleet. When they were losing games, everybody was struggling except for Fred. Fred was the only one on the team like consistently going off. If there's anybody that should be an All-Star, it probably should be Fred. He's playing like that. He's having one of his best seasons ever and having like crazy scoring nights as well. And now that they're winning, I definitely think that he probably was snubbed. But again, when you were losing before like that, it's kind of hard to put someone in the All-Star position. So at number 7 on this list, we have the second best player on the Bucks, Chris Middleton. I mean, this is one of the best teams in the East, actually the 3rd best team in the East right now, a championship contender. Chris Middleton has become an All-Star before. He's an 87 overall, so on paper, he was supposed to be one. He's having a worse season than usual, at least a little bit. So that's why it's kind of like, I guess he should be one. This was definitely this is where I'm at the point of the list where like I think he probably could have been one or should have been one, but I think it's debatable. It's pretty close, but still, I see the reasons why people would be pretty upset if Chris Middleton didn't make it. I mean, if you look at the other 2 teams of the Nets and the Sixers in the East, they both had at least 2 All-Stars, so it's kind of disrespectful. Okay, so at number 6 on this list, we have Damonte Sabonis, 87 overall, one of the best players in the East straight up, one of the better bigs in the NBA. On paper, it's supposed to be an All-Star. This player has been the best player on the Pacers for the past 2 years, okay? Statistical monster, and the Pacers have been one of the better teams in the East. You cannot tell me that the Pacers shouldn't at least have one representative in the All-Star game. And Damonte Sabonis has had to do it with players getting injured, like TJ Warren not playing, or now Karis LeVert because you don't have Victor Oladipo anymore, and he's been having to consistently carry this team low-key. So I think it's a little crazy that he didn't make it. I do think that he's pretty arguably snubbed. So at number 5 on this list, this is where I start feeling pretty passionate. Demar Derozan, 87 overall, didn't make the All-Star game, and it's hard because I get like on paper he was tied to make it, so I get maybe why he didn't make it, but Anthony Davis is not going to be an all-star because of injury. So DeMar should replace him, right? Well, that's controversial because there's another player on this list that probably will get it over him. But I believe that, in my personal opinion, and this is where probably the dislikes come in, I think DeMar deserves it over CP3. I also think this other player that I'm talking about deserves it over CP3. So that's my personal opinion. I do think DeMar was a little bit snubbed there, but opinions aside, on paper, he was in the conversation to become an all-star this season. So speaking of the most important one, at number 4, Devin Booker, 87 overall. The Suns are winning more than they ever have in such a long time. They were undefeated in the bubble because Devin Booker goes crazy, and yet they give the all-star to CP3. Why? I get that because he came in, now they're playing better, and every team that CP3 goes to, they play better and they start winning games. But Devin Booker is the best player on this team. I don't care if the ratings tie them. Statistically, and if you watch the games, the offense runs through Devin Booker. You want him to score. And the fact that he's playing so well, he's being the reason that they're winning, like at least as the best player, right? And you don't make, and they're one of the best teams in the West, and you don't make him, when's the last time they got the second best player an all-star over the first best player on the team and didn't give that other player an all-star? Like, I can't name you a time the second best player was an all-star and not the best player. Like, this is crazy. This is insane to me. So at number 3 on paper is Bam, 88 overall. I mean, you can make the argument. He's been one of the only players that's like been healthy for the most part. I mean, he's been injured as well, but he's been playing a lot of games for this team and has been trying to get him out of this hole. Rating wise, he deserves to be there, but you know, he just didn't make it, obviously, because the Heat are not in a playoff contention so far. That's why. At number 2, it's Trey Young, another 88 overall, another one that I could be like, you know, they kind of have a point. I mean, Trey Young having a good season offensively. This team is winning more than they were last season, but then again, I honestly thought this team was going to do better than they have been so far. So they're kind of being a letdown. That's probably why Heat has not become an all-star, at least yet this season. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of one of those controversial ones because obviously on paper he should be, but like they're not winning, so it also comes into play. And then finally, at number 1, a one that I actually didn't even think about until I made this video. I like didn't even consider this. CJ McCullum. I mean, the Blazers are fantastic this season. Literally fantastic, obviously because Damian Lillard's playing out of his mind. But CJ McCullum, when he has played, he's played very well. 88 overall. He has been injured, so that comes into play. And obviously, I would contribute a lot of this to Damian Lillard's play, but CJ McCollum has been a big part of this, at least offensively. So you could make the argument that he got snubbed, but still, it's definitely close, and I see the debate there. But that is according to 2K. There's a couple I agree and disagree with, but what do you think? Leave it in the comments below, and if you like this channel, give it a sub, and I'll see you guys next time.